Surely you're joking, Mr. Feynman, by Richard Phillips Feynman. Audiobook summary and review by Story Shots. The number one reason brilliant people fail? They forget to stay curious about everything. Introduction. Most scientists specialize early and narrow their focus until they see nothing but their field. Richard Feynman did the opposite. In Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, Adventures of a Curious Character, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist reveals how treating life as one giant experiment made him both a better scientist and a more interesting human. Learning happens when you break the rules. At MIT, while other students dutifully memorized equations, young physicists taught themselves calculus by working backward from answers to questions. When professors said, "This is how it's done," the question was, "But what if I do it differently?" Breaking rules revealed what actually mattered versus what was just tradition dressed up as truth. You probably follow dozens of unexamined rules right now in how you work, learn, or solve problems. The real problem in speech is not precise language. The problem is clear language. When institutions tell you the right way to learn, they're often teaching compliance, not competence. Boredom is data, not a character flaw. After winning the Nobel Prize, depression hit. The pressure to produce important work created paralysis. Then, a student threw a plate in the cafeteria. The plate wobbled as it spun. Weeks of calculating the wobble's physics followed, purely because it was interesting. That playful investigation became the foundation for Nobel Prize-winning work. Most people treat boredom as something to push through or ignore. If something was boring, stop. If something fascinating appeared, dive in completely. This wasn't procrastination. It was reconnaissance. Physics is like sex. Sure, it may give some practical results, but that's not why we do it. Forcing yourself through work that genuinely bores you looks like discipline, but your brain is telling you you're working on the wrong problem. Status is the enemy of truth. Department chair positions, advisory roles, prestigious committees, all offered, all declined. Not from humility, but recognition of a trap. The higher your status, the harder it becomes to admit you don't know something. Once people expect you to be the expert, curiosity becomes a liability. You start defending positions instead of discovering truth. At Los Alamos, during the Manhattan Project, generals and administrators kept making terrible decisions because admitting uncertainty would damage their authority. With no rank to protect, the approach was simple. I don't know. Let's find out. That freedom created more value than people with 10 times the status. Every time you protect your reputation instead of pursuing truth, you choose performance over progress. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. If you know someone navigating the tension between what looks impressive and what's actually true, send them this summary. Final summary. This summary of Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, by Richard Feynman, connects 3 insights. Question inherited rules to find what's real. Follow curiosity instead of obligation. And protect truth over status. The full summary reveals how these principles applied to cracking safes at Los Alamos, why reading other physicists' papers before solving problems was deliberately avoided, and the specific mental models used to make complex physics feel like play. You'll also get the story behind those famous lectures and why teaching was considered the best way to learn. We're putting together the complete summary of Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman, right now, with a visual infographic and animated video. Follow the book in the Story Shots app to get it the moment it's ready.